and the Nocturne, especially the ability to dive. Blitzcrank is an older counter to these two. It is very skill expressive if Wisdom is not pulling and ruining someone's day.
He's on the bot lane.
Yeah, and that bot lane going heavily for Crowny and Reckless there, dodging out the Wisdom hook and then burning the heal on the dash forward. So Lucian Nami starting to get rolling here, and the first blood as we turn away just like that.
Get connected, and now if they want to look for the trade, Wisdom, he either doesn't have his hook yet or he's holding onto it for a really long time, because there's no real way to punish Los Ratones there. Tempo away for him.
Yeah, certainly the bot lane prior for Los Ratones after this Crowny Reckless performance. Nemesis is in the area with the Hero's entrance available as well to slam down if needed. If someone gets hooked into the wrong spot, there's a Galio ready in the wings. But they're going for the engage instead. A flash in, double taunt, snap engage from Los Ratones, knocks Random down before he has a chance to blink, and Los Ratones turn back on the Drake.
For the Hangry Knights, this is one of those moments that you'd really love to see that both junglers would be level 6, because with the Nocturne Paranoia, it's so much easier to get that ball delivery comp actually working. But now with the Nocturne still struggling to reach that level, still being level 5, it is of course in the moment as well that Velia is still level 5, so it isn't reasonable for both junglers to be at that point. But it should also mean for the Hangry Knights that this isn't the point in the game that you really want to contest this dragon yet.
Balling bot lane to play through as well, so the instincts of Los Ratones clearly still very sharp.
Meantime, we see Void Grubs do go down to Hangry Knights. That's something that we had expected with already the build-up from the last part, where it didn't really look like Los Ratones wanted to trade this anyway. Like, they just feel comfortable having that dragon, and if the enemy takes something away, that's completely fine to them. I don't know if this is fine to them on mid lane, though.
Yeah, now they've decided to bring some more assistance to this lane, and they have managed to make this one work. Nemesis going to get clonked down in the 3 versus 1. Paranoia used the flash from Wisdom to Getchi. And Los Ratones backing away. They spent a lot of time here. Nemesis missing out on the taunt on the left side of your screen, but on the re-engage again. But this time it's onto Ravos getting popped down. Jeskla and Wisdom watching dumbfounded as blue team. The Los Ratones pick up the feat of warfare. 3rd kill on the board.
Nocturne getting a forced reset, even though he didn't necessarily have the Paranoia up for last fight, does probably put a wrench into the plans of how you would normally like to transition your jungle clears as a jungler. You really need to have this like daredevil mentality. You're not necessarily a Samira, but dashing forward, you are short range and you have a lot of burst damage. So if you dare to take these risks, knowing that your Nami is always there to back you up, that is something that will probably like split the average Lucian.
Velia just gets his mid laner out of trouble and backs away. Now the blue still being contested by Nocturne. Faust is in the base. Velia is going to try and steal this one, but I don't think you want to get stuck into a real fight here.
And it does leave us with the fact that this map is completely split in the way that on one side we see Los Ratones dominating, we cannot fight him. If there's some off angles to be found by Kaufland, like maybe here on the top lane,
the Nocturnary combo onto the Baus Jax. The Fear as well. Jumps back to a minion. Desperately scrabbling for safety. A Counter-Strike will find one more stun. Rabble flashes in. Traded by Baus. Gets away from the Q, so no speed up. Leaps to a ward, but Wisdom round the corner. Pops the ultimate, and Baus almost slipped away, but Blitzcrank said no.
Also fresh from cooldown, there's maybe no Paranoia, but Random can still put a lot of pressure out here. So Los Ratones, the only choice they have is to make the crossplay happen on the Rift Herald. But that does mean that they will give over this bot lane tower, and hopefully they will not leave Baus alone for too long, since there are 4 members of Kaufland just swarming him once again, just like last game.
Dragon started up by Kaufland. Looks like Los Ratones might be seeding it.
Does show a difference in team fighting capabilities when there's a Nocturne Orianna combo or just a Nocturne jumping on your backline, because the Shockwave already had to be used earlier in the fight to make sure that not everything was going into shambles already. Players strong, and there's also a Venor who's still hovering around that Atakan in case that Los Ratones are the ones instantly on it. They will spot out Crowny and Reckless here. And I thought there was maybe a play coming out, but no, it's Baus.
Leap strikes into vision. Instantly, Paranoia comes on his head, fleeing towards the brush, but there's no way out from him. It's 4v5. Now Los Ratones have to make a snap decision. Looks like they're going for mid.
It is mid and top lane. They are splitting the play, knowing there are no teleports available to answer Nemesis. But Nemesis, he has been there for a while. He has teleport if his team needs it. But I'd say that Los Ratones at this point have considered all possibilities and said, sure, we can go all commit for this random Atakan, who just gives a little bit more extra stats. But the more thought out play is to just go for the towers, get ourselves some extra gold, get ourselves some free plays that we are able to get with Baus dropping on the bot side and not try to take any more risks than necessary.
Nora and Rabble greeting for a wave right there. Los Ratones need to pick a direction. They're going for the Gnar. Almost has the Mega. The Nami wave from Reckless coming in to slow them down. Over the wall he goes. The bubble doesn't connect. The double stun into the wall, but Los Ratones have the man advantage. They're going to pick up this nice kill. Shut down gifted to Crowny. A great decision by Los Ratones.
Time as well, and we already saw that he was struggling with doing that. So giving your AD carry that shutdown, being able to afford another BF sword, which is probably one of the most difficult items to build since it's so expensive, and like during laning phases,
Rabble and Random potentially looking for another engage onto Crowny. Even just stealing a summoner for him before a big objective would be a lovely way to start. 15 seconds before the Hextech, and LR don't want to give another one away, but the hook lands and the engage comes in. But there's no one else to help Rabble. The two supports are standing by with Crowny. He still gets feared. Velia somehow alive on the front line, but Nocturne's going to get picked off here. Nemesis is in with the ultimate. He's found Random, forced the flash from the Orianna. Baus is recalling to try and catch Venor, but a hook onto Nemesis. Jessica looking for some damage. Velia back in. Nemesis on the follow-up again. Baus sleeping forward. Crowny has already stepped back to the Drake, but the base of Los Ratones is under fire.
it is a difference in decision-making on both sides. Like, Los Ratones knows that if they're fighting a 4v5 and their backline is being blown to bits, they really need the help of Baus, so they instantly call them over to start helping them. But on the other side, we know that Kaufland is sitting in a position where the Hangry Knights are just, well, you can start doing that split push. We are fine if we blow away their backline. It's really good for us. If it doesn't happen, we will just stall them as long as possible. Talking about map control, and I look at this mini-map, I see so many control wards put down.
Oh, they got them. Oh, they got them. Massive double pickup. It's exactly as we said, Sim. Crowdy and Reckless knocked off in the blink of an eye, and the Baron is live.
And this is a really dangerous situation for Los Ratones, because it doesn't really feel like you can just give this Baron away. The moment there's even more pressure also coming out from Vano, who has already shown what he can do with the split push. If that gets even worse, how are you going to start holding them? So we do expect a response from Velia, but he's not going to make it in time. He notes it himself as well. He's on his way back to base, maybe try to catch a mid-wave. But this is not, as a Los Ratones fan, the way you want to see this game swing. Even if you give that away, it's not that big of a difference. And the Baron buff, of course, is temporary. So as long that the Hangry Knights cannot instantly end the game with this Baron buff, you are still in it to win it. But you have to play it really carefully, play the turtle stance, and make sure you can defend your base. But it looks like the Los Ratones have a different plan if they're starting a fight on the bot lane.
They're going aggressively for Rabble again. Start focusing the jungle. It worked for him last time. Flash away goes the Nocturne. The Nami wave can't connect. Jeskla gonna get stunned. Flash in from Baus for the double. They're gonna find this Corki at least. Shut down for the Jax, looking to hunt for Random, but turns back as check out the mid lane. Once again, it's Venor on the split.
Venor is only going to be held by Crowny. He is there on his own, and I don't know if the solo Lucian is going to be enough if we're going to be fighting on the river.
Belia been caught now, but can he survive? Nemesis come around the corner. Not much damage, actually. The Xin weathers it pretty well, but Rabble, is he the one caught out? He's gone for the engage, but now comes the turnaround for Los Ratones. 50 seconds on the Hextech, 48 on the jungler for Kaufland. This is going to be very tight, Sim. Wisdom as well, trying to get to safety, but Nemesis, he's having none of it. The CC chain comes in and Crowny picks it up.
There was some strange decision-making coming out from the Hangry Knights, because we do see Venor in the end teleport towards the fight, but everyone is kiting back Dragon. There's no real way for Hangry Knights to start contesting this Dragon now.
Yeah, I mean, my bad, I guess. That's my fault. I did not foresee this one, folks, but there it is. Hextech Soul.
Basically already in the middle of the enemy team, so it will still make for a difficult situation.
Engage onto Crowny once again. Here come the shields, and he's pushed into the resurrection already. Now Los Ratones need to buy him some space. They're onto Jester. They've got one kill. Rabble abandoned. Crowny is now free and clear. No one else can contest him. Venor's on the split, but Baus is already watching. He's backing, maybe looking for a TP into mid lane. Nemesis has found another catch onto Wisdom, and LR turned back to find more kills. Random is chilling in the mid lane, trying to cut the wave. Los Ratones hunting Kaufland members.
But the expectation here was that Crowny would not be able to survive after Reckless also would have died. But that didn't happen. Like, the instant wombo combo went on the AD carry that actually still has a Guardian Angel, so it doesn't really make that big of a difference.
Venor now caught out. Baus and Nemesis with the stun. A knockback stops the combo. He leaps to safety. But this is just inevitable. Baus with the rocket belt picks him up with that.
Apparently, if there are enough players around him that can keep him safe. Even when Rebel is diving him, it shouldn't be that big of a difficulty. Oh, well, maybe the Hangry Knights are even giving it over.
Oh, tags Wisdom, and that Blitzcrank got nowhere to go. Absolutely free and easy for Crowny, so that extra pick threat has been taken off the board. It's all up to Nocturne Orianna now, and Los Ratones smelling blood in the river. Baron is a possibility. They're going for Baus instead. It's the AP Jax, remember, trying to get back the safety of his team. Leap strikes in. Velia coming in to take over frontline duties. And Crowdy is on a rampage. Again, the play from KHK. It's desperate onto the split laner, and they can't even find that. A flash away from Orianna. Velia hunting for even more with Reckless in the back pocket as Nemesis isolates the Gnar. Crowny doesn't even have to do anything in the rest of this fight. LR are marching down the mid lane.
You can't even blame the Hangry Knights to go for this initial play, because you do see a player on its own. You have the feeling that you can basically blow him to bits, just like what Velia is going to do to Random here, who was still on the run, hoping to find safety, but there was no safety to be found. But if you take out Baus there, you do set yourself up for a better situation. It's just that the entire Avengers is being called up once again by Los Ratones, and when it's a 5v5, it looks to be the end of the game as well.
That's gonna be it. They've got everyone in the base. The Knights, they came in so hangry tonight, but it is no ratatouille for them tonight. Not for Kaufland. Los Ratones white knuckle it through a 2-1 slogfest and reach the temporary sanctuary of the knockouts.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.